You walk into a dealership and there it is. A bike priced so low you can't believe it. These 14 Japanese motorcycles were once built to impress, but something went wrong. Now dealerships are practically begging buyers to take them. Here's the countdown of models nobody's picking up. Number 14. Honda CB650R. This bike was designed to combine retro aesthetics with modern performance. Marketed as a middleweight all-rounder, it features a 648 cubic centimeter inline four-cylinder engine. This power plant produces 94 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque, delivering a spirited performance on paper. However, despite its promising concept, the CB650R struggled to meet expectations. While the inline-four engine offered smooth power delivery, it lacked the punch needed to stand out in the competitive middleweight class. Riders seeking a more thrilling experience often turned to bikes like Yamaha's MT-07, which offered a more aggressive power-to-weight ratio. Additionally, the CB650R's unique blend of retro and modern styling left many potential buyers uncertain about its identity. It did not appeal strongly to those seeking either pure nostalgia or contemporary sportiness. In terms of ergonomics, the bike's slightly aggressive riding position made it less comfortable for long-distance rides, and the suspension setup, although adequate for city commuting, felt too firm for relaxed cruising. Weighing in at 445 pounds, the bike remained relatively light, but this did not compensate for its lack of standout features. The braking system, featuring dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, was reliable but did not significantly enhance the bike's appeal. The CB650R entered the market with a starting price of $9,200. Unfortunately, this placed it in a price bracket crowded with bikes offering better performance or more iconic styling. As a result, the model quickly found itself sidelined in showrooms, with potential buyers opting for more distinct alternatives. If retro didn't work for Honda, what happens when you try to make a cruiser too sporty? Number 13. Yamaha XSR 900. Born from Yamaha's rich racing heritage, the Yamaha XSR 900 is a fusion of neo-retro aesthetics and modern performance. At its heart lies an 847 cubic centimeter inline three-cylinder engine capable of producing 115 horsepower and 64 pound-feet of torque. Derived from the popular MT-09 platform, this engine was designed to deliver robust mid-range power and quick acceleration, making it suitable for both spirited riding and everyday commuting. Weighing in at approximately 429 pounds, the bike's lightweight aluminum frame enhances agility and responsiveness, especially in urban environments. The suspension setup features an inverted telescopic fork at the front and a monoshock at the rear, providing balanced handling and a smooth ride. Braking is managed by dual front discs and a single rear disc, delivering reliable stopping power to complement its performance capabilities. The design philosophy behind the XSR 900 aimed to merge the spirit of classic motorcycles with Yamaha's contemporary performance ethos. However, this styling approach proved divisive. Traditional motorcycle enthusiasts found the blend of retro cues and aggressive lines somewhat forced, feeling it lacked authenticity. On the other hand, sport-focused riders perceived it as too stylistically niche, especially when compared to the straightforward and performance-centric MT-09. One of the key challenges for the XSR 900 was its positioning in the market. Priced at $11,500, it appeared costly to potential buyers, particularly when retro-style bikes or more focused street fighters were available at lower price points. When retro styling doesn't hit the mark, perhaps blending adventure and city commuting could fare better. Yamaha's next experiment, however, didn't quite go as planned. Number 12. Suzuki SV 650X. Introduced as a stylish cafe racer variant of the widely popular SV650 platform, the Suzuki SV 650X aimed to blend retro-inspired aesthetics with the sporty and practical nature of the original model. The concept was to capture the charm of classic motorcycles while retaining the commuter-friendly character that made the SV 650 successful. At the core of the SV650X is a 645 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, generating 75 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque. Renowned for its reliability and smooth power delivery, this engine has been a mainstay in Suzuki's mid-range lineup. Weighing approximately 435 pounds, the bike's lightweight design enhances agility, making it well-suited for both commuting and spirited weekend rides. The suspension system includes standard telescopic front forks and a link-type rear suspension, delivering balanced comfort and stability during everyday use. Braking is managed by dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, providing sufficient stopping power for urban riding scenarios. Despite its strong mechanical foundation, the SV650X struggled to find its audience. The cafe racer styling, while appealing in concept, did not resonate strongly enough with buyers. Positioned awkwardly between a true retro classic and a modern sporty commuter, it failed to fully satisfy either group. Priced around $7,900 when new, the SV650X seemed too niche and too costly for the average buyer. Trying to make a commuter bike look like a racer ultimately did not hit the mark. Next up, a motorcycle that was deemed too sporty for the casual rider. It wasn't easy uncovering why dealerships are slashing prices on these bikes. If you're finding this info useful, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more motorcycle insights. Number 11. Kawasaki W 800. Designed to capture the classic charm of British motorcycles while maintaining Kawasaki's reputation for dependability, the Kawasaki W800 is a retro cruiser crafted for nostalgia-seeking riders. The bike's aesthetic choices, such as the vintage round headlamp, teardrop fuel tank, and spoked wheels, are complemented by chrome accents evoking a sense of a bygone era. This carefully curated look aimed to attract those who appreciate the timeless appeal of classic bikes. At the heart of the W800 is a 773 cubic centimeter air-cooled parallel twin engine, delivering 48 horsepower and 44 pound-feet of torque. This setup provides sufficient power for casual cruising, fitting the bike's retro cruiser persona. Weighing in at approximately 495 pounds, the W800 is relatively manageable, especially in urban settings. The suspension system features a conventional telescopic fork at the front and dual rear shock absorbers, offering a smooth ride at moderate speeds. Braking is handled by a single front disc brake and a rear drum brake, maintaining a vintage mechanical feel. Despite its authentic styling and comfortable ride, the W800 struggled to gain traction in the market. The main issue was not the execution, but the pricing. With a starting cost of $9,100, many potential buyers felt it lacked the performance to justify the price tag. The W800's charming throwback design did not resonate strongly enough to compete effectively, leading it to gather dust in showrooms. From classic to futuristic, Honda's next gamble was a radical departure, and not in a good way. Number 10. Honda NM4 Vultus. Honda's daring attempt to blend futuristic aesthetics with everyday usability, the NM4 Vultus became one of the most polarizing motorcycles in recent history. Inspired by science fiction design, the bike featured long bodywork panels, a low-slung profile, and an extended front end that gave it a stretched-out scooter-like appearance. This bold, unconventional styling aimed to stand out, but it left many riders puzzled about its identity. Was it a cruiser, a scooter, or a futuristic commuter? This confusion ultimately hindered its ability to build a dedicated following. At its core, the Vultus housed a 670 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, producing 47 horsepower and 44 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a dual-clutch automatic transmission, the powertrain was designed to offer a smooth and effortless ride. However, while this setup made the bike accessible, it lacked the mechanical engagement that many motorcyclists crave. The Vultus was intended to be approachable, featuring a seat height of 25.6 inches, making it easy for a wide range of riders to manage. Yet, the unconventional riding position with feet pushed forward and arms raised high felt awkward on longer rides and detracted from comfort. Weighing in at approximately 570 pounds, the Vultus wasn't particularly lightweight, and the lack of onboard storage further reduced its practicality as a touring machine. While the futuristic concept might have appealed to a niche audience, the bike's function and form seemed mismatched, leaving even Honda fans divided. The NM4 Vultus positioned itself at a starting price of $11,299, which placed it above many mid-tier cruisers that offered more traditional appeal, stronger resale value, and better customization options. From futuristic oddities to modern sport tourers, Kawasaki's next model missed its mark despite strong specs. Number 9. Kawasaki Ninja 650. Designed as an all-around sport tourer, the Kawasaki Ninja 650 aimed to strike a balance between sporty performance and everyday usability. At its core lies a 649 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine generating 67 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque. This powertrain is known for its smooth and linear acceleration, making it well-suited for city commuting and occasional highway runs. Priced at $8,200 when new, the Ninja 650 was positioned to attract both beginners and intermediate riders looking for a versatile machine. However, the bike's identity crisis quickly became apparent. While its sporty design and the iconic Ninja name suggested a performance-oriented ride, the reality was a more commuter-friendly machine. It wasn't aggressive enough to satisfy sport bike enthusiasts, nor did it have the comfort features needed for true long-distance touring. Ergonomically, the Ninja 650 features a relatively upright seating position combined with slightly rear-set foot pegs, creating a compromise between sportiness and comfort. While this setup makes it manageable for daily rides, it lacks the dynamic edge that more experienced riders might expect from a sport touring motorcycle. The suspension, while adequate for urban commutes, lacks the precision needed for spirited cornering, making it feel somewhat underwhelming for those seeking a sportier experience. The braking system consists of dual front discs and a single rear disc, offering reliable stopping power but failing to inspire much confidence during aggressive riding. Weighing approximately 426 pounds, the bike is lightweight enough to remain agile, but it never quite delivers the sharp handling that the Ninja name implies. When versatility doesn't cut it, sometimes pure performance also fails. Just ask Suzuki. Number 8. Suzuki Hayabusa. Once celebrated as the fastest production motorcycle in the world, the Suzuki Hayabusa earned a legendary status among speed enthusiasts for its unmatched top speed and raw power. The third-generation model stays true to its heritage, featuring a 1,340 cubic centimeter inline four-cylinder engine that produces an impressive 187 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of torque. Capable of rocketing from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds, the Hayabusa effortlessly maintains triple-digit speeds, showcasing its prowess as a high-speed tourer. However, despite its incredible specs, the Hayabusa now feels somewhat outdated in today's motorcycle market. Riders increasingly value a balance between power, practicality, and comfort, an area where the Hayabusa struggles to compete. Its hefty build and weight make it cumbersome in urban environments, detracting from its usability as a daily commuter. Weighing approximately 586 pounds, it remains stable at high speeds but feels unwieldy at low speeds, particularly in congested city settings. The suspension setup, tuned for stability at high velocities, lacks the nimbleness that modern sport tourers often boast. Braking is handled by dual front discs and a single rear disc, offering substantial stopping power, but the overall bulk makes quick maneuvers challenging. Financially, the Hayabusa is also a significant investment. With a starting price of $18,500, it is positioned as a premium machine. Additionally, the cost of insurance and high-performance maintenance makes ownership a luxury that few can justify. While its straight-line performance remains impressive, the bike's limited practicality and hefty price tag make it less appealing to contemporary riders who seek versatile machines. Now for a cruiser that couldn't cruise into anyone's garage. Number 7. Kawasaki Vulcan S. Introduced as a versatile cruiser with a sporty edge, the Kawasaki Vulcan S aimed to appeal to both new and seasoned riders. The concept was to blend cruiser comfort with the lively performance of a sport-oriented engine. At the heart of the Vulcan S is a 649 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, producing 61 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque. Known for its smooth revs and efficiency, this engine is the same one found in the Ninja 650, offering a refined and responsive ride. Weighing approximately 498 pounds, the bike remains manageable in urban environments, providing enough agility for city commuting. The suspension setup includes telescopic front forks and a rear monoshock, tuned for a balanced and comfortable ride. Braking is managed by a single front disc and a rear disc, offering adequate stopping power without overwhelming the lightweight frame. However, the Vulcan S faced a fundamental challenge. Its sporty character did not align with the traditional cruiser aesthetic. Cruiser enthusiasts, who typically prefer a raw, throaty V-twin feel, found the Vulcan S too refined and lacking the low-end grunt they expected. While the ErgoFit system made it adaptable to riders of various sizes, the overall feel remained too polished for a segment that celebrates rugged charm and straightforward power. Positioned at a starting price of $7,399, the Vulcan S found itself in a tricky spot. Just a bit more investment could secure a used Harley-Davidson with a more authentic cruiser vibe, making the Vulcan S seem less appealing. If mixing styles didn't work for Kawasaki, how about a bike that couldn't decide between sport and utility? Number 6. Yamaha FJ 09. Marketed as a sport touring motorcycle with the DNA of the MT-09, the Yamaha FJ-09 aimed to offer a blend of performance and practicality. At its core was an inline 3-cylinder engine with a displacement of 847 cubic centimeters, producing 115 horsepower and 65 pound-feet of torque. This powertrain promised spirited acceleration while maintaining the versatility needed for longer rides. Weighing just under 500 pounds, the bike maintained a relatively nimble feel, making it suitable for both city commuting and open-road cruising. The suspension setup featured adjustable front forks and a rear monoshock, providing decent comfort for everyday use. Braking was managed by dual front discs and a single rear disc, offering reliable stopping power in various riding conditions. Despite its promising specs, the FJ-09 struggled to live up to its sport touring ambitions. Its aggressive engine character and firm seat made it less suitable for long-distance touring, where comfort is paramount. While the upright handlebars offered a more relaxed posture compared to pure sport bikes, the overall ergonomic setup still felt uncomfortable during extended rides. Wind protection was also lacking, as the stock windscreen failed to adequately deflect airflow at highway speeds, leaving riders exposed and fatigued. Priced at $10,490, the FJ-09 positioned itself as a mid-range option within the sport touring segment. The FJ-09's attempt to balance sportiness and touring comfort ended up falling short on both fronts, making it a bike that failed to resonate with its intended audience. When blending touring and sport fails, what about building a naked bike that's too fancy? Number 5. Suzuki GSX-S 1000F. Designed to bridge the gap between sport bike excitement and everyday practicality, the Suzuki GSX-S 1000F aimed to deliver the best of both worlds. At its core lies a 1,000 cubic centimeter inline 4-cylinder engine producing 148 horsepower and 78 pound-feet of torque. This power plant, inspired by the GSXR lineup, was engineered to provide track-level performance while maintaining more comfortable ergonomics for street use. The bike's semi-aggressive fairing gave it a sporty appearance, hinting at its performance potential without fully committing to a race-oriented look. Priced at $13,149, the GSX-S 1000F positioned itself as a premium sport tourer, targeting riders who wanted both spirited riding and daily usability. However, the bike's biggest issue was its lack of a clear identity. While the engine delivered the punch that sport bike enthusiasts craved, the overall package felt too refined and upright for those looking for a pure performance machine. On the other hand, its aggressive demeanor made it less appealing to casual commuters seeking comfort and practicality. This left the GSX-S 1000F stuck between being a sport bike and a tourer without fully satisfying the needs of either audience. The riding position, more upright than a typical sport bike, aimed for a compromise between comfort and performance. While this setup made it more manageable for longer rides compared to a pure sport bike, it still lacked the relaxed ergonomics that touring riders expect. Handling was competent but not particularly agile, making city commuting less enjoyable, while the bike's stability on longer routes did not match dedicated tourers. Aesthetically, the front fairing gave it a semi-sporty look, but it appeared somewhat bland compared to more focused race machines. If that was too much bike, the next one tried to be way too little. Number 4. Honda Grom. Never meant to be taken too seriously, the Honda Grom carved out its niche by embracing a playful and quirky personality. Its compact frame, lightweight build, and unmistakable charm made it a favorite for urban riders looking for a nimble and fun machine. At the heart of the Grom is a 125 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine producing 9 horsepower and 8 pound-feet of torque. This modest power output, combined with its incredibly lightweight 227-pound frame, made it perfect for zipping through city streets and squeezing into tight parking spots. Priced at $3,599, the Grom was an accessible entry point for new riders and those seeking a spirited city commuter. However, as newer iterations of the Grom hit the market, the original model began to feel increasingly outdated. The early versions lacked modern features that became standard in later models, such as full digital displays, improved lighting systems, and enhanced braking components. As other small displacement bikes introduced more advanced technology, the Grom's minimalist design started to feel less refreshing and more basic. Riders who initially loved its simplicity began to see it as impractical, especially when comparing it to upgraded versions that offered better functionality. The low upright seating position was comfortable enough for short rides, but it became less tolerable during longer journeys. The bike's lack of versatility also became apparent as newer small displacement bikes began offering similar affordability, but with enhanced performance and convenience features. While the Honda Grom still holds a special place for those who appreciate its quirky character and urban agility, the bike's limited capability and outdated design have left it overshadowed by more feature-rich competitors. When small and fun does not work, what about a bike that is just too complicated? Number 3. Honda CTX 700. Aimed at providing a relaxed and practical riding experience, the Honda CTX 700 targeted commuters and casual riders looking for ease of use. At its core was a 670 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, generating 48 horsepower and 44 pound-feet of torque. The bike's standout feature was Honda's automatic dual-clutch transmission, designed to make riding more accessible by eliminating the need for manual shifting. This setup was especially appealing to newer riders or those seeking a more laid-back approach to motorcycling. Priced at $7,699, it was positioned as an affordable and user-friendly option within Honda's lineup. However, this emphasis on simplicity came at a cost. Cruiser enthusiasts, who typically value the distinct sound and raw feel of a V-twin engine, found the CTX 700's power delivery uninspiring. The automatic transmission, while undeniably convenient, made the riding experience feel disconnected, reducing the sense of engagement between rider and machine. As a result, seasoned riders often perceived it as too bland for a cruiser. The design itself did little to help its case. The low stance, stretched out front, and futuristic lines gave the bike a unique appearance, but it lacked the rugged, classic charm that traditional cruiser fans loved. While the ergonomics aimed for comfort, with a low seat height and forward foot controls, the riding position felt slightly awkward, especially on longer journeys. The overall feel of the bike was more utilitarian than soulful, which did not resonate with those looking for a cruiser with character. From boring to just plain bizarre. Next up, a hybrid that puzzled everyone. Number 2. Honda DN01. Introduced as a bold hybrid concept, the Honda DN01 sought to merge the characteristics of a sport bike, cruiser, and scooter into one futuristic package. At its core was a 680 cubic centimeter V-twin engine delivering 61 horsepower and 47 pound-feet of torque. This powertrain was coupled with Honda's human-friendly transmission, a continuously variable automatic gearbox designed to simplify the riding experience. The idea was to offer a seamless blend of power and convenience, appealing to those looking for an effortless ride. However, despite its innovative approach, the DN01 struggled to define itself clearly in the motorcycle market. The design was unmistakably unconventional, featuring sweeping body panels, a low seat height, and wide front fairings that gave it an almost concept bike appearance. Its low-slung profile and futuristic aesthetic made it look more like a sketch from a sci-fi film than a traditional motorcycle. While the relaxed chassis made low-speed handling fairly manageable, the bike's performance fell short of expectations. Weighing approximately 595 pounds, the DN01 felt heavy and cumbersome, especially during cornering. The limited cornering clearance further hindered its ability to deliver on the sport bike promise. Additionally, the riding position struck an odd balance, too forward-leaning to be comfortable for casual cruising and too laid-back to feel sporty. One of the biggest obstacles was its price tag of $15,599, which positioned it well above many more traditional and capable motorcycles. Enthusiasts found the lack of manual gear control underwhelming, while newer riders felt intimidated by its size and unconventional setup. This identity crisis left potential buyers unsure whether it was a practical cruiser or a thrilling sport bike, ultimately leading to poor sales and an uncertain legacy. And now, the ultimate failed cruiser that no one wanted. Number 1. Suzuki Boulevard C50. Envisioned as a reliable entry-level cruiser, the Suzuki Boulevard C50 aimed to combine classic styling with user-friendly performance. At its core is an air-cooled V-twin engine with a displacement of 805 cubic centimeters, producing 45 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque. This powertrain is paired with a 5-speed transmission and a shaft drive, promising low maintenance and smooth power delivery. The bike's design emphasizes accessibility, featuring a low seat height of just under 27 inches, making it manageable for new riders. Weighing in at approximately 611 pounds, it strikes a balance between a planted feel on the road and easy maneuverability in urban settings. The suspension setup includes telescopic front forks and dual rear shocks, providing a comfortable ride typical of cruiser geometry. Stylistically, the Boulevard C50 embraces the quintessential cruiser aesthetic with a teardrop tank, chrome accents, and a classic low-slung profile. The intention was to appeal to those looking for a traditional cruiser experience without the intimidating bulk of larger bikes. However, despite its solid build and approachable design, the Boulevard C50 struggled to live up to market expectations. With a starting price of $9,299, the Boulevard C50 appeared reasonably priced at first glance. However, when compared to more iconic and powerful cruisers from brands with stronger reputations, it struggled to make a lasting impression. Riders were inclined to invest slightly more for a bike with greater personality and brand loyalty, leaving the C50 to linger in showrooms. Now it's your turn. Do you think these Japanese motorcycles deserve a second chance, or were they doomed from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this.